Hello, everyone. Anil Ramsharita here, Lifestyle Director 3, getting all ready to do the forensic call this evening with all of you. Please, as you join, welcome wherever you are. Type in the chat where you're chiming in from. And remember, tonight's training is going to be about your mindset, about your business. So make sure you're in a quiet place. You have a notepad and pen. Feel free to record the call as well if you want. And get on the phone right now and get your team members on this call. We're going to have an amazing forensic call this evening. Okay, so I'll be back in a few minutes. As you get on, please type in the chat where you're chiming in from, and we'll be starting shortly. So again, welcome everyone to the forensic call. Thanks for announcing where you are chiming in from. We have Thunder Bay, we have the Caribbean, we have Payman in the Middle East. Welcome to the call. We have people getting on from all over the world. And there may be people getting on as well from our cruise. We know there are people on the cruise right now. And Lise, you're probably wondering where I got my hat. I got it last year when we were on our Lifestyle Director 2 cruise to the Bahamas. So if you want one of these hats, you have to go on the cruise. I'm sure you've seen some of the photos where people have been posting that our CEO was very generous in leaving gifts in people's rooms. So everyone got a Opulence hat on the cruise. So if you want one of these, you got to go on the next cruise, okay? And I'll see you on the next cruise. So we'll be starting in a few minutes. Please make sure you're in a quiet place. You let your team members know. You grab a notepad and pen. You can record the call as well. We're going to be starting the forensic call in a short bit. And again, please type in where you're chiming in from, wherever you are in the world. And again, welcome to the forensic call. Welcome everyone to the forensic call this evening. We're going to be starting in a few minutes. For those of you that are just getting on, this is a amazing training for you to have the right mindset and attitude in your business. Straight from the forensic networker himself, Mr. Ramin Misgalu. I'll be handling the call this evening because he's on the open sea on a cruise and the cell signal is not that great. So he asked me to handle the forensic call this evening. So we'll be training on a topic from the Forensic Networker on Facebook. So for those of you that have not joined the Forensic Networker, please do so. Follow our CEO on Instagram as well with his trainings. They're absolutely phenomenal. They've helped me a lot in the business, from the moment I got started all the way to Lifestyle Director 3 and building forward uh, in the business. So as you get on, we're going to be starting in a few minutes. Please type in what city, state, country, wherever you are, what time zone. And for those of you that have already, welcome. I know we have people from all over the world that are getting ready to enjoy our call this evening. So please do that. And remember to pick up the phone, call your team, get them on this training, because it's important that we have that culture where we teach our team members that at certain evenings or certain times of the day, we have our company calls that are designed to give them the proper mentorship and support. And these calls are absolutely critical. Here's why. As you build a big business, you don't want to be babysitting, right? As much as you don't want to support your team, you want people as independent as possible and self-sufficient. So these calls are designed to help help your team become self-sufficient, so that everybody is on the same page, working together, and duplication is happening. So how many of you would like to have that happening in your team? Type that in the chat, where you have consistency, you have camaraderie, you have a good culture, and you also have duplication. So how many of you want that in your business? Please type that in the chat, and we'll be get starting in a few minutes. Thank you. Okay, we're going to be starting in a couple minutes. I'm just going to give everyone a chance to get on for a forensic call this evening. And please type in the chat where you're chiming in from, what city, state, country, what time zone. If you're brand new to the forensic call as well, you're just new to the family, please let us know as well. And as we go through the forensic call, remember, take notes. You can record this call. Make sure you're in a quiet place, you're not distracted, you can actually benefit from the information. And I'm going to be training directly from the Forensic Networker Facebook page, where our CEO and founder, Mr. Ramin Mesgalu, the AKA the Forensic Networker, has a lot of great trainings and posts there on Facebook, and also on Instagram. You can follow him as well. So make sure you're part of these groups, because he's constantly posting all the time amazing tips, advice, training. He gives mentorship to people, not just in our company, but a lot of other companies. People around the world tune into the Forensic Network because his training is absolutely phenomenal. And remember, the Forensic Networker is in a way scientific. So these are not just trainings based on philosophy or feelings or emotions. They're actually based on science. And if you follow them to the T, you will have success. Okay. And for leaders like myself, we love the forensic trainings, and we don't miss them at conventions and so forth. So we want all of you to benefit as well from this amazing training. So we'll be starting in a minute or so. So make sure your team is on, and let us know where you're chiming in from. Thank you. Okay, everyone. So let's get started with our forensic training this evening. And I appreciate everybody's comment. Tammy, thank you for sharing what you did. And I'm sure everybody on the cruise as well misses you and wish you were there. So get well soon. Take care of yourself. We want all of you to be healthy and well, and using your fountain of life, of course, to protect and preserve your well-being. That's absolutely phenomenal, the products we have. And so this evening our training is designed around the forensic networker training, and I'm sure all of you would agree, all of you are on this call to create more income in your business, to create and have that lifestyle, because as you know, our business or our mantra or our entire culture is about lifestyle. Remember, if you have the will, we have the way. And so from day one, when I got started and learning from the forensic networker, I remember I was part of other companies. So I had to learn some new things and as well get rid of some bad habits that I may have had that did not give me the results that I wanted or that I brought from other companies. And so it wasn't an easy road for me being part of this company 5 years ago. I had to deal with myself, as the saying goes. And as you go through the training this evening, I'm going to talk about what was posted on the Forensic Networker Facebook. I'm looking at it right now, September 17th, where the Forensic Networker, aka Mr. Ramin Mesgalu, our CEO and founder, he's world renowned for that. He's been on the Brian Tracy show. If you go on YouTube after this training and you type in Ramin Mesgalu with Brian Tracy, you will see his interview. Watch that, share that with your peers and people in your life so that they can understand who you're in business with, who are you working with, who are you learning from. Because one of the things that I have seen missing in a lot of companies and a lot of opportunities is a proper mentorship and support. A lot of CEOs and owners are not in the field shoulder to shoulder with the distributors or members. And as you all know, for those of you that have been part of our opportunity for quite some time, not only is our CEO, our Senior Vice President, Mr. Naz Human, our Marketing Director, Ms. Danny Farida, we have a lot of our corporate team that are in the field with us shoulder to shoulder. In fact, they're also on the cruise at this time. So they don't just tell us what to do, they're also doing it as well in their own lives. And so the post we're going to talk about this evening in the Forensic Networker on Facebook, and remember to please add yourself to that group and follow our CEO and his trainings, is better is better. And there's a photo of Mr. Ramin Mesgalu driving in his S65 Mercedes-Benz convertible cabriolet. Now, I've had the privilege to see that car a lot at head office when I used to live in Toronto, because now I've moved to the west coast of Canada. But what's really remarkable about that post is one thing I've learned from our CEO and being the forensic networker is, and he said this to me on numerous times, he goes, Anil, anything you want is available to you. Anything you want is available to you. But in order to get that, you have to get better in order to be better, in order to have what you want. And so it's the same thing for you, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever reason got you into Opulence Global, that's the reasons you should be focused on. It could be more time with your family. Maybe you want a nicer home. Maybe you want to move from the town or city you're into a different one. Maybe you want to spend time traveling with your family and enjoying the luxuries of life. Maybe you want a nicer car in the driveway. Maybe you want to take care of your debt. Maybe for once in your life, you want to be a top network marketer or a top business person. And so it's very important to understand that in order for that to happen, for things to be better, you and I have to become better. Now, how many of you agree with that? Type that in the chat, please. I want to get your feedback as we go through the forensic training this evening. So better is better. And so there's our CEO driving in the S65 Cabriolet Mercedes-Benz. Why? Well, for him to have that vehicle, at some point in his life, he had to make a decision on becoming better, right? It didn't just show up by osmosis. He didn't just wake up one morning and it was on his driveway, unless someone gave him a birthday present. I don't know, right? He had to become who he had to become in order to create and have what he has. And I'm sure all of you have heard about the law of attraction and We are what we think about. We are what we talk about. And so things begin in thought, and then words, and then action, right? I'm sure you've heard the term thoughts are things. And so what do you think about all the time as you do your business? Whether you're building the Lifestyle Director 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, whatever your goal is, as you help people become customers and VIP shoppers and get on the products, or you're doing a presentation or a Zoom, or you're working with your team to help them duplicate. What is your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Are you constantly thinking about becoming better so things can be better? So maybe one day you can have a convertible Mercedes that Opulence Global pays for, being part of the luxury car program. Or maybe you want a better home, bigger home in a different area, traveling the world, paying off debt, taking care of your family, paying for your kids' college funds. Whatever is the reason, your why, your story for being part of Opulence Global, do you think about that constantly? You know, I was having a conversation with some of my team members this week. I was doing a training here in Vancouver. And the thing I talked about was, when we're taking action on what we want, do you constantly hold in the forefront of your mind or in your thoughts what you're working towards? Do you constantly think about that? Why are you doing what you're doing? Do you constantly think about that? Because here's why. If you don't constantly hold that thought, constantly, every day, what you're working towards, it's easy to be taken out of the game. It's easy to feel discouraged. It's easy to be not motivated. It's easy to lose inspiration. Why? Because you're allowing external things to control or determine your outcomes. You're letting people's behavior, you're letting, our CEO talks about the sunblocks in our life. Those people that walk into a room and it gets darker, right? We're allowing people like that to get into our head. And the reason I use allow, and here's why I use allow. I'm sure all of you have heard to be careful who you share your dreams with, because there are dream stealers, right? Well, I believe from my experience in life and from studying successful people, there are no such things as dream stealers. Here's the truth. Here's the reality. We don't have dream stealers in our lives. We surrender or give up our dreams to the people in our lives based on their comments and their behavior. How many of you agree with that? How many of you agree that if we're not getting better and better and better to become better, like our CEO talked about on the Forensic Networker on Facebook, we're allowing the sunblocks to get into our minds, and they impact our actions, they impact our attitudes. So we're not moving forward and creating what we want. We're allowing people in our lives to steal our dreams. And our CEO talked about this as well. He talked about how we need to start surrounding ourselves with better people. And better in the sense that the people in our lives are not bad. I mean, they love us. But sometimes their intentions are based on their fears, worries, and doubts. And so because they're not taking action in their lives, you taking action in your life amplifies their lack of not taking action. And so you have to be so careful with this, ladies and gentlemen, that as you build your business in Opulence Global, for whatever reason, you chose to become part of our company to build your business that we talked about, you want to be careful who you spend your time with and surround yourself with. In fact, in my life, I love everybody in my life, but I limit myself with the time I spent with certain people. And I spend more time with the people that are living their dreams, that are up to big things, that are moving in the same direction as me, so that they don't impact me. And they, like how the sun blocks, they shed darkness on stuff. I surround myself with people who shed light on stuff. Okay? And that's very, very important as we move forward about getting better in order for things to be better. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause at this time. I'm just going to check in on the chat to see if there's anything I should be addressing or anyone has anything to say. Okay, awesome. I'm going to make our CEO and founder, I'm going to make him admin. So just give me 1 second. Good thing I paused. Hello, Mr. Ramin, you're live. Can you hear us? Let me unmute you. There you go. You should be able to speak.
I know. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, it's coming in a little choppy, but we can hear you. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, give me 1 second. Hi, Neil, can you hear me?
Yes, that's better. Yes, it is. Yes.
Okay, hold on a second. I want to get the video going here.
Okay, go ahead.
If you can make me admin.
Okay, let me go back to that and click on your name. For some reason, it's not allowing me to make you admin. I can unmute you.
Okay.
Promote the panelist. There you go. Are you
Okay.
okay?
Can you
Yes.
see us?
Yes, clearly. Go ahead.
We're not going to take much of your the time tonight. You guys have more important work to do. Just want everyone to say hello to you guys and show you guys this is why we need the Forensic Networker, so we can be on this cruise next year. So everybody, we have a call to our Forensic Networker call every Tuesday. People around the world come in, and they're on the call right now. So say hello to everybody. They're there. Say hello. Say stay forensic. Stay forensic. All right. All right, team. Say stay forensic to the forensic group.
Stay forensic!
All right. Stay with me here. All right. Say to the world, stay forensic. I wasn't the script. Stay forensic. All right. We're on a Tuesday call. Well, we need forensic, so we didn't want to be here next year, right?
Okay.
So, stay forensic.
Forensic!
All right. This is all our team. All right, everyone, say stay forensic.
Forensic!
Thank you. All right, we got more people here. That's a Tuesday night call. It's a forensic networker call. We tell people they need to win these calls so they can be here next year on the cruise. So stay forensic.
Stay forensic!
And stay forensic.
Stay forensic.
That's it. Oh, these folks are from Alberta. Been with us for years and years and years. That's a Tuesday forensic call.
Oh,
Yeah. So say stay forensic.
stay forensic!
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. That's it. Well, stay with me here. All right, team. It's a Tuesday night call. I don't guess. Tuesday. Can I turn this around? Let me see. Can I? No, I don't think so. Okay. So tell everybody, stay forensic.
Stay forensic!
That looks good. Is that right? Yeah. What's that? Sorry, guys. I'm just joking. All right, we got more people here. All right, guys. Tuesday night call. Tuesday night call. Say stay forensic.
Stay forensic! Stay forensic, everyone!
All right, we got more people here. All right, Tuesday night call. Say forensic. Oh yeah. Yeah, we lost our reputation in the ship. Yeah. All right, we got more people here. All right, Tuesday night call. Say forensic. Am I catching you? We're catching you. Okay. Say forensic.
Stay forensic!
That's it. We got more people here. All right, guys. Tuesday night call. Say forensic. More people here. Say forensic. All right. At the end of the day, Neil, it's just above all, we want money. Well, not because we want money. We want money because we want to buy a lifestyle. That's what we're looking for. Better food, better clothes, better home, better vacations, better time, more time freedom, less stress, better car, whatever it is, all falls in lifestyle. So tonight, this week, we get together from around the world, over 100 of us, and we enjoy the lifestyle that this industry brings. So we need to give it the respect it deserves, because what it brings, many people here this week tell us they've never been on a cruise.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What this business brings, most jobs cannot provide. And being on this call tonight with a forensic networker shows your commitment towards a profession that can give us a lifestyle that we want, that a job cannot provide. So with that, I'm going to leave it back to you. Just want everybody to say hello to you guys.
Thank you, Ramin. Enjoy your cruise.
Thank you.
Good night. So just 1 second here, everyone. I got to take Mr. Ramin off video. Okay, awesome. So we're back. So write in the chat, everybody, what was your takeaway from that? How did you feel with our CEO and the forensic networker giving you a tour of the dining room with the team, over 100 people on the cruise? How did you feel? Did you see yourself there at the next cruise? Do you see yourself and your family sitting around the table, breaking bread and having wine with our founder and our leadership team and our senior vice president, our marketing director? You see, one very cool thing about what Mr. Mesgalu just did is called visualization. What he did is he brought you on the ship with him. And that's very powerful, because I'm sure you've heard it from Jim Rohn and Bob Proctor and Les Brown and other people. Unless you actually see it in your mind's eye, it's sometimes very difficult to have it. So you have to see it first. Like, there's that photo of our CEO driving the S65 Cabriolet, right? Better is better. But he saw himself in that vehicle before he went and got it. He saw himself in the McLaren. He saw himself in the Mercedes-Benz. And the same goes for all our car qualifiers who drive luxury executive cars because our company has made that possible for them to handle their monthly payment. They saw themselves in that BMW and Mercedes and the Tesla before they even sat in the vehicle. So write in the chat, because I'm sure our CEO is still on the call reading and listening to the call. Write in the chat how you felt about what he just did, expanding your mind, opening up your eyes to the possibility that you could be on our next cruise. I'd love to hear what you have to say about that. Absolutely phenomenal. So thank you, Mr. Ramin Mesgalu, the forensic networker, for sharing that. My heart was pounding in my chest because I recognized practically everybody there on the cruise. So let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, you can be a forensic networker in your own life by the way you think, the way you speak, what comes out of your mouth, and your actions. You can show in your life that you are also a forensic networker. All you have to do is simply follow what our CEO and founder is teaching you step by step. He has an amazing program for introductory people, people who are have some experience. He even has advanced forensic network training for those of you that are experienced in the industry. So whatever you want for being part of Opulence Global is available to you. Okay, so I just want to check again the chat, see if anybody has any questions. So everyone, thank you for your comments. Payment, it means the commitment to the industry, not just our business and company. This is how we build up the business in the forensic style. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I know a lot of you said you wish you were there on the cruise. Well, one thing I can share with all of you is there's one thing to wish and there's another thing to take action. So what you want to do is the next cruise that's announced, book your ticket right away. Start making arrangements to be on the next cruise. I'm sure you've heard it before. The vacation doesn't start till you put money down and book the trip. Then you're at the gym, you're trying on bathing suits and bikinis, you're watching what you eat. But unless you put the money down and register for the trip, none of that starts happening. So then when the next cruise is announced, for those of you that are not Lifestyle Director 2s as well, let's make that happen. Apply the forensic training in your business. Work with your team. Help your team And that can become a reality for you. For those of you that want to have a luxury car payment, that is possible. For those of you that want to become MGRS and car qualified, we still have about another week to make that happen. Remember, Lifestyle Director 2 is you having personally 2 lifestyle advisors, each paying their $150 plus tax per month. You as well on your $150 per month as a lifestyle director. You've helped those people get 2 of their own lifestyle advisors on $150 per month, and they have helped too. So it's in your Opulence, we call it your Opulence Bible, your handbook that comes in your kit. It's also on the website under trainings and events. It's also on our YouTube channel. So anything you need to stay forensic, so that you're on target, so that you're hitting your goals, that you're becoming Lifestyle Director 1, Lifestyle Director 2, Lifestyle Director 3, for whatever reason, you're part of our amazing, amazing opportunity. By staying forensic and plugging in, just as you are tonight, you will in time have everything happen for yourself. The only difference between you and a lot of the top leaders and the people that have made things happen is just time and effort. That's all. However, if you stay forensic, you can have that happen for yourself. It's just a mindset, and it's also, write this down if you're writing anything down, it's also a decision. See, once you draw that line in the sand, that proverbial line, and step over it, and you have the attitude, whereas I'm going to the top of that mountain, and I'm climbing, and I don't care if there's treacherous tracks or trails, if there's dangerous animals, I'm going to the top. And I would love for everyone to come with me to the top, but I'm going to the top. Make no mistake, and I'm not coming back down. I'm going to the top, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to go to the top. Once you have that mindset, and you've drawn that line in the sand, and you stay forensic by applying the mentorship, by applying the training, you can successfully climb to the top of your pinnacle or your mountain, whatever that is, successfully. And you do that by helping and assisting a lot of people in your life get what they want. See, that's something our CEO and founder always reminds me. He goes, Anil, help your team more, help your team more, help your team more. Teach them the basics. Help them, teach them. Help them become forensic so they can have what they want, so they can be on the cruise. They can be on the leadership summits. They can be plugging in. And so you can do the same thing for yourself in whatever market you are. You see, all of us have the same opportunity, the identical opportunity. So wherever you are in the world, you can create whatever you want. As you all know, my business partner, my better half, Miss Callie Jensen, and I, we left Toronto and moved all the way to the west coast of Canada. We don't have a head office here. We don't have a showroom here. Yet we're still building because we're staying forensic, because we have been trained by our CEO and founder and our senior vice president and our marketing director and some of the top people. And we know exactly what we need to do. Step A, step B, step C, step D, step E. As long as you follow the footprints in the sand and you stay on track, you can have the same thing happen for yourself. So staying forensic, would you agree, is absolutely critical for success. So for those of you that agree that staying forensic is critical for success, type yes in the chat. I want to make sure that what we're talking about tonight is resonating with you as you get better to be better. So I just want to check the chat quickly to see if anybody else has anything to say. Or anyone. And for those of you that want to comment or say something or ask a question, please raise your hand, because I'll be unmuting the call in a bit. For those of you that would like to ask a question or say something, okay? 1 second, okay? I just need to come off video so I can. Sorry about that. My internet was being a little bit wonky, so I just wanted to get straight on that. So when you think about better is better, write in the chat for me where you think in your life, maybe you can write 1 or 2 places that you feel you can improve. Just write it. And usually when you look, ladies and gentlemen, it's what's missing. It's what's not going on powerfully that you want happening powerfully. What would you say you need to get better at? Write 1 or 2 things in the chat so everyone can see. Because remember, tonight's call is about you. Tonight's call is about you becoming better in your business. So you can serve yourself first and serve your team and serve people that you want better from the program. So type in the chat where you feel you can be better. So let's go to the chat. Okay, Teresa, thank you for sharing. Consistency. Donna, better at being consistent. Again, consistency comes up again. Cuthbert, need to create more time to devote to my business. Okay, let me address that, okay? 1 second, please. Let me just go back to. Okay, I was just waiting for people to put some more chats in. Thank you for sharing that. Following up with initial contacts, better in prospecting, very good. So let me address a couple of these. Consistency, let's start with that. Consistency. How do you think you need to be consistent? Well, one way I find being consistent is setting up an accountability. So you may have a partner or 2 or 3 that you do a call with early in the morning, maybe once a week, so you can discuss what you're gonna get done for the day. That's one way to be consistent, is have someone hold you accountable. Because sometimes, wouldn't you agree, when it comes to holding ourselves accountable, we let ourselves off easy. However, when you have others hold you accountable, you're more likely to follow through. So that's one tip around consistency. There's lots more, but the Forensic Networker will talks about that on the Facebook, so you can actually get lots of coaching and mentorship from our CEO. Need to create more time to devote to my business. Well, remember, Kadbat, we can create time. Okay, so I just want to correct you on that. We are all given the same 24 hours in a day. What I think you meant to say is you want to prioritize in your life what you have going on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, so you have time for your business, or you set aside some time for your business. I think that would be the better thing to say. So what you need to do is you need to look at your schedule from the moment you open your eyes to the moment you close your eyes, and then take out a calendar and go through your calendar, your daily calendar, and look at where you are spending time unnecessarily, where you shouldn't spend time. And I'll give some of you a couple tips that works for me. I threw my television out in 2005. I don't watch TV. I don't care about television. I don't even know what's the latest and greatest show on television. I think the last show I watched on television was MASH or Cheers. That's what I know. Everything else moving forward, I have no clue. And the reason why is television, I found, allowed negative energy into my home, and I didn't like that. And it impacting my mind because there's so much negative stuff in the news. So I got rid of my television. I also threw out all my gaming consoles and give away thousands of dollars of games, because my home used to be a gaming central. All my friends used to get together with me and we used to play games. Not something I recommend for someone who's an adult, unless it's your business and you are a gamer, you write code, or you work for a gaming company. But when it comes to watching television or gaming, I thought personally that was taking time away from what I was up to and creating. Here's another thing I did. I used to play tennis every single day, 7 days a week. I used to coach tennis. Love the sport. Spend 8, 10, 12 hours a day on the tennis court. Here's what I did. My mentor said, Anil, do you want to go to the next level and the next level and the next level in your business? I go, yeah. He goes, what are you willing to sacrifice? I go, I don't know. He goes, well, can I make a suggestion? I go, yeah. He goes, hang up your tennis racket for a year. I go, excuse me? Because those were like fighting words, right? Hang up my tennis racket? Out of your mind? I love tennis. He goes, well, then good luck creating what you want to create, because you're spending so much time on tennis. And you know what? What he said back then, looking back, made so much sense to me. I did hang up my tennis racket. And every time I walked by it, I used to cry, like literally, tears rolled down my face. But I was on my way to my next appointment, and my next appointment, and my next appointment, and my next appointment. And you know what? Doing that got me to the top of that company. I had a team of over 10,000 distributors. Now, would I have gotten that if I still played tennis 10, 12 hours a day, or maybe was still gaming or watching TV, maybe. However, being as sensible can be, I knew it would take way, way longer because I'm being distracted. And these things are not adding to my business, what I wanted to add to my business, which is freeing up my time to spend in something that really, really mattered to me. So I really, really had to get forensic. And after a year, I started playing tennis again. But this time, when I went on the tennis court, I was talking to people I played tennis about what I did. I used to play tennis at all different times of the day. They're like, Anil, how come you're playing tennis at 8 a.m. in the morning? Don't you have a job? And I say, share with them that I don't. And so I became so dialed into my business that now tennis to me was part of my life. It was part of my business. I would go play 3-4 times a day at different times, and I would meet all different kinds of people. I would put my name on the board to partner with someone or play with someone. And that's how I developed a lot of great relationships on the tennis court. So for those of you who have hobbies or you have things you love to do, join clubs. If you run, join the running room. If you go to the gym at different times of the day. I noticed some of you wrote about prospecting. We are constantly surrounded by people. So what I would recommend is pick the thing you love to do and go do more of it and surround yourself with those people. So for me, it was tennis. It was playing poker. I love playing poker. It was biking, hiking. So it was playing darts. I used to also be part of the snooker club and billiard club. I've actually won tournaments playing pool and darts. So I became part of those clubs. And unless I had an event or it was a team meeting or training or a call like this, I would go spend my time around those people because that's the stuff I love to do. And I have met so many amazing people, owners of companies, business owners, single moms, entrepreneurs, contractors, builders, landscapers, you name it. It goes on and on and on. And so my network got massive because I was staying involved in the things I enjoyed. So I hope tonight the tips I just gave you from those of you that made the post about being consistent, about prospecting, about finding the time, taking time away from the things that you feel are not adding value to your life and spending time in your business. I hope the tips I just gave helped. And the Forensic Networker is no different. Our CEO, when you look at our CEO and founder, Mr. Ramin Mesgalu, he is always forensic. He's always dialed in 100%. And he's always involved in forensic activity, right? I'm sure he could have been on another cruise. He could be on any cruise he wants. But he's on the cruise right now with our team, with our leaders, with our corporate team. So he chose to be on that cruise. Do you understand what I'm saying? Sometimes it's our choices, ladies and gentlemen. It's our choices that will determine our success in something. So for those of you who have written in the chat about where you feel you can get better, write in the chat if what I talked about this evening has given you some things to think about around consistency, around time, around prospecting. You see, when something is a chore, it's not fun. When something is a chore, it's not fun. Make your business fun. I went and played tennis, but I did it so I can meet people, have fun, play tennis, stay in shape, and at the same time build my business. It was a win-win-win-win all around. So get involved in the activities that you enjoy. Get out there, meet people. Sitting on the couch is not going to work for you, right? That's one of the reasons I got rid of my television and my gaming system. Is I was becoming unhealthy. I was getting a big belly. I was putting weight on. I was eating a lot of unhealthy foods, drinking diet drinks, which are terrible for my health. And so when I got out, when I went for walks, when I went on bike trails, when I went hiking, when I played tennis, when I played darts, all that kind of stuff, I was staying active, improving the quality of my life and my health, and at the same time meeting like-minded people. So let me just pause and just check the chat again. Yes, that's right. It's all about fun. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah. I mean, who wants another job? Think about it. Who wants another job? In fact, I always joke around and kid around. Our kids don't want our jobs. They don't like, a lot of people say, well, I'm going to leave stuff behind for my kids. And I go, well, have you asked your kids if they want what you're going to leave behind? Right? Because they see you stressed. They see you not having fun, right? They see you not being forensic. So look at the young people today. They're traveling the world. They're building multi-million-dollar businesses online and social media. Opulence Global is perfectly primed and positioned for that. You should be sharing with the young people in your life about this online opportunity, how they can build a global business, travel the world, have fun. Because when you look at the young people today, they're all about having fun. They're all on their phones and have the latest gadgets and stuff. Why? Because they want to enjoy life. And you should be the same way. And if you want to enjoy life, because remember, we're called lifestyle directors and lifestyle advisors. We are people's lifestyle consultants. Shouldn't our life match being lifestyle advisors and lifestyle promoters and lifestyle directors? Shouldn't our lives match that as well? Absolutely. How can we teach someone or show something to someone if we ourselves are not living it? Okay, so it's important for us to get forensic and be forensic and stay forensic, because it's about lifestyle. It's about having fun. And as you saw from our CEO just now walking through the cruise ship, the dining room, I've been in that dining room on many, many cruise ships. That's lifestyle. That's lifestyle. Where you could turn your phone off, where you can enjoy 4 or 5 days in the sun, hanging out with like-minded people, building your mindset and your attitude and getting golden nuggets about staying forensic. That's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. You know, many people are born and go through life and pass away that do not get to enjoy lifestyle, that do not get to have fun. I'm sure you can think about 5 people in your life right now that should be part of opportunity because they're miserable, they're unhappy. Maybe they complain about their life, but they're not willing to do something about it. You can make the difference for them by the way you live your life. So they see it. So they see it and they go, wow, look at so-and-so living their lifestyle. Look at that. They're setting such an amazing example. And so you, by being forensic, you can make that happen by getting better to be better. Okay, so let me just pause again. I just want to check the chat, make sure I'm not missing anybody. So Tammy, thank you for sharing. You're absolutely right. And remember, it doesn't matter what you're dealing with. It doesn't matter what situation you're in. You know, you can be not well and be forensic. You could be not well and have fun. Create that fun. You know, I've had friends who were bedridden, and they were such a shining example to me in my life of how they were always happy when I saw them. And they were in pain. They were dealing with stuff, but they realized their body was in pain. They were not in pain. See, there's a difference, right? If I'm in pain, yeah, I'm in pain. My body's in pain and I will handle that. But that doesn't mean Anil's in pain. That doesn't mean I can't have fun and make a difference with other people. And if I'm confined to my home or my bed, I can still make a difference. Do you know there's people all over the world making a difference, dealing with all forms of stuff? I'm sure you guys know the story of Helen Keller, who was born blind. But today people talk about her and the difference she made for millions and millions of people. So even very famous people who were limited with their resources or their living situation or their geography still made a difference by staying forensic. They were still happy. They were still giving. They were still joyous. They still made a difference with their family and the people around them and set that example. And you and I know that because sometimes when we're at family dinners and we're hanging out with family and friends, remember they talk about Uncle Bob, or they talk about that person who was always, it didn't matter what they dealt with, but now they've passed on, they're resting. They always talked about the difference they made. And they, they left such fond memories for everybody. I'm sure all of us have those kind of people in our lives, like friends and family that have passed on. My grandmothers were like that. Every Friday, my mom and dad took me to my grandma and picked me up on Sundays. And so I spent a lot of times with my grandmothers. Both of them, they raised me. And so those are some of the fondest memories I have of my grandmothers. Because whenever I went, it was fun. They used to take me grocery shopping or make me my favorite meals, or I would help them make my favorite meals. And those are some of my fondest memories of spending time with my grandmothers. And so what they taught me years and years ago, because now they've passed on and they're resting, still stays with me today. And whenever I think about not having fun, whenever I think about quitting, whenever I think about letting other people get into my head and get me out of the game, I remember my grandmas. And I always remember them saying, and they all said this to me. They both said it in different ways, but this is how they said it. They said, Anil, no matter what you're doing, have fun, make a difference, help other people, serve other people, do not hurt people. Always leave someone's life better than when you found it. That's what my grandmas taught me, because they were such givers. They were such loving people that even after they passed on, even today, the family and friends still talk about them. Okay, so remember, it doesn't matter what you're dealing with, whatever situation you're dealing with, you can still have fun, you can still make a difference, you can stay forensic no matter what's going on. You could be in a jail cell, away from everybody, you can be forensic. And I'm sure all of you have heard of, the late Nelson Mandela. I've read his bio and I've learned a lot from him. And there was an incident when he was imprisoned on that island, and his jailers heard him yelling and screaming at the top of his voice, and they all came running because they thought something was wrong with him. And he was dancing around in his cell, and they're like, what is the matter with you? Why are you dancing around in a cell that's grimy, and then there's rats, and then it's moisture, and it's not healthy, right? It's a jail cell. And you know what he said to his jailers? He goes, I just realized something. He goes, I'm free, even though I'm in this jail cell. You are a prisoner because you still hang on to old ways of being and old ways of doing things. You're still a prisoner, even though you're outside of this cell. I'm free because I'm not a prisoner of anything in my life. I'm not even a prisoner of this cell because I accept this cell. I accept my prison. So I'm free. I'm not a victim. I'm not sure if any of you have read that story, but if you go read that about Nelson Mandela, and that's always stuck to me as well, that it doesn't matter what I have going on in my life, I can choose to be free, or I can choose to be a victim. I can choose to be forensic, or I can choose to let other people's words and their actions or lack of action take me out of the game. And write in the chat for those of you who have had to deal with situations, and you don't have to say what it is, where staying focused, staying forensic, staying with the right mindset and attitude, having fun, and focus on helping others and building your business or creating whatever you wanted to create, it helped you to deal with whatever you were dealing with, and you felt free. You didn't feel like a prisoner. You stayed forensic. You stayed focused on what you were up to and what you were creating. So share in the chat, because I know I'm not alone in this. All of us have to stay forensic in our life to get done what we got to get done. That's an unspoken, undeniable fact. For us to because we all swim upstream. We all go against the flow, being in direct sales and network marketing. So it's imperative that we be forensic more than ever. It's absolutely critical and necessary. So we're grateful to our CEO, we're grateful to our founder for putting such a platform in place so all of us, as we build our businesses, can stay strong. We can have our shield, we can have our armor, we can have our spear, we can have our helmet. We can be protected with the Forensic Network as we build our business, because it's like a war out there sometimes with what we have to deal with. It's like we're fighting a battle constantly with ourselves and stuff that's external. So we're grateful for the forensic networker and the forensic network so that we can be better to become better, or to have things be better. So let me just pause quickly and just check the chat. Yes, David, I can expand on the essence of what it means to be forensic and stay forensic. Well, first of all, become part of the Forensic Networker. Follow our CEO on Instagram and Facebook. He's constantly doing posts. And I don't want to stay too long on the call. I just want to stay a few more minutes. But forensic, remember, if you watch CSI or any police drama where they have to solve a murder or solve a crime, the forensic team gets involved. And the forensic team goes through DNA, hair samples, blood. You know, sometimes they may dig up a body, you know, go through bones, clothing, soil, all that kind of stuff, okay? So a forensic person is someone who is constantly digging and searching to find answers and solutions to be better, or to create, or to come up with a solution. And so what our CEO has done over his years in the industry, 20-something years, he's put together a scientific platform or system that when we follow it step by step, it'll give us the results we want. It'll help us discover what we need to discover in order to become better at what we're doing. So it's like a science, it's like a forensic system. Because his teachings or his mentorship has been tested and tried over years with hundreds and thousands of people. It's not guesswork. When he says he can create $1 million earner in less than 16 months, he's done it with many people, even in our company. And when he said he's broken multiple six-figure earners or five-figure earners, or he's been in companies where he's become a multimillionaire and brought millions of dollars of business to that company, he's done it. So it's almost like you're working with, you know, someone who's an expert at forensic science, and they help you understand the blood or the hair samples or the DNA or fingerprints or bones or soil. Those people have done it so many times that if you stood side by side with them, they can show you step by step how to solve a crime, how to catch the culprit, right? For those of you that watch CSI Miami, CSI Las Vegas, blah, blah, blah. So our forensic networker, he's talking from years and years in the field, working with thousands of people. So it is a science for him. It's not guesswork. When he says something, you can take it to the bank. It's as good as gold. So I hope, David, that answers your question. You and I, to be successful in a business, we must master being forensic. It's a science. And so when we follow it step by step by step, we can have the results we want. Just like someone that follows forensic data step by step by step, they can solve a crime. Even if that crime happened 40, 50, 60 years ago, it can still be solved following the forensic science. So it's the same with what our CEO has put together for us. So let me see if what the comments are. Okay, awesome. Yes, staying forensic, very, very important. You know, think you're Horatio or what's his name on CSI Las Vegas, Grissom. Yeah, like, you know, how they think, and they're always like 4, 5, 10 steps ahead of everybody, right? But they work with their team and they help their team figure out the crime and solve the crime, right? So I hope that makes sense to all of you. So yes, staying forensic is critical for success. So in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, remember, be part of the Forensic Networker on Facebook, follow him on Instagram, make sure you do not miss these calls, get your team on these calls, they're absolutely critical. Thank you all for your comments this evening. It was great to have our CEO join us from the cruise with all our leaders and family on the cruise, enjoying the fruits of their labors, staying forensic. and you too can have the same. So take away 1 or 2 or 3 key points from tonight, start applying it right away in your business and your life with yourself and your team, especially around being consistent or scheduling yourself so you have time to do your business, or prospecting or talking to people. I gave you guys a lot of tidbits this evening on how to do that in your business. So thank you all for being on the call. Remember, our next call is Saturday morning with, I think it's going to be done from the cruise ship with Miss Erin Spreen and Miss Daniela Farida, our marketing director. So make sure you and your team get on the Saturday morning call, the Zoom. I just want to check our chat quickly before we get off. Thank you everyone for the compliments. It was my pleasure. I love doing what I do. I love being forensic because I'm having the time of my life. And I've lived. And I have no regrets, because when you do what you love and enjoy and have fun with, and you serve other people and you stay forensic, what other ways are there to live? Okay, so remember, ladies and gentlemen, we're about lifestyle. We're lifestyle advisors, lifestyle promoters, lifestyle directors. It's critical to stay forensic so you can create what you want and keep yourself in the game and keep on making a difference. I want to wish all of you a great evening, great night. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for sharing yourself as well. And on behalf of the Forensic Networker and Opulence Global, my name is Anil Ramcharito, Lifestyle Director 3. Love you all. Wish you all a great evening, great afternoon, great morning where you are. I'll see you on Saturday. Take care, everyone. And you're welcome. I had fun tonight.